exploring the multiverse of pop culture.
This is Podcasserole.
An Adam and JP show.
Welcome to the biggest podcasserole on record. I'm Jay Patrick. That's Adam. We've got a huge night planned for you.
Oh, wow.
What was that?
That was my almost midnight. It was a almost midnight combo of some Paul Bear and Jerry Lawler. Like Puppies, Jerry Lawler.
My boy Kane.
Yeah.
So coming up, I'm going to do my 25 favorite films of all time as of March 28th, 2019.
Right.
However, we do know that this episode will release just merely 48 hours before the granddaddy of them all, the biggest stage in the world. What do they say? The biggest stage in the...
I forgot how it's termed.
The Showcase of Champions.
Yeah. Of the Immortals.
The Showcase of the Immortals.
Yeah. That's it.
Wrestlemania.
It is almost midnight. Just heads up.
35?
Yeah, 35 is where we are.
Holy smokes.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we're not going to go down the whole card or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I do want to start with...
5 hours deep, so it'd be tough, too.
You've fallen in love with the WWE Network again.
It happens again, yeah.
And we were just talking about some of the fun stuff that you found. Like WrestleMania 10 and how bad that is.
Man, WrestleMania 10 is so bad. I was just randomly picking, certain events and WrestleMania and pay-per-views, and so I went back and watched WrestleMania 10 for the most part. I mean, I skimmed some spots, but, man, It's lauded as a great one because of the Razor Ramon HBK ladder match. People love that.
Which I do remember that. I remember watching that.
But the card in general. Can I give you some snippets of this card? How about a mixed tag match with Doink and Dink versus Bam Bam Bigelow and Luna Vachon?
Luscious.
Oh, yeah.
Luna Vachon.
She had the extensions then. She did. We also have a terrible Yokozuna versus Lex Luger match. This is Yoko, and he's, probably close to 500 pounds.
Now, is this the Narcissist, or is this the American
Narcissist
Dream? No.
I think it was Lex Express.
Lex Express. What did they call him, though? The All-American?
Something like that. Because this is post-motorcycle accident, so his finisher is that bionic forearm. That's what
where they show the X-ray, and clearly the screws would be protruding from his flesh.
Right. So in that particular match, Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect, was the special guest referee. And so Lex Luger gives for the big finish, gives that bionic forearm, and Mr. Perfect wouldn't count the 3 count, gives him a DQ for using the foreign object. That's how it ends.
Which is the plate in his arm.
Yeah. We have a Macho Man Randy Savage versus the Japanese supporting Crush.
Kona Crush.
With Mr. Fuji, yeah.
Yeah, Kona Crush, yeah.
So the stipulation for this, beforehand they explain it, say you and I are fighting, we're wrestling, for me to win the match, I have to take you outside of the ring and pin you. And then once you're pinned with a 3 count, go back into the ring and wait 60 seconds without you coming into the ring as well. If that happens, I win that match. And that was Macho Man and Crush in 1994. Think about that. Just a year prior, we have Ric Flair and Macho Man in the main event over Miss Elizabeth. You remember those times? Whenever Flair said he was with Miss Elizabeth, but he wasn't, and that whole deal. We're talking like a year prior. And now we're having like third match of the night with Macho Man versus Kona Crush in a 60-second outside of the ring. It was crazy. I don't know what happened.
That is, that sounds like a mess.
Yeah. The Quebecers versus Men on a Mission was terrible. The first match of the night.
MON.
First match of the night was Bret Hart and Owen Hart, and that was maybe the best of the night. Owen Hart cleanly beats Bret Hart in a victory roll-up pin. You don't see those anymore. But it was good. Alundra Blaze versus Leilani Kai. That was bad. One of the best parts of that is whenever Alundra Blaze comes down to the ring, her name card for about 2 seconds flashes Owen Hart. That's what it says as she comes to the ring. She is labeled as Owen Hart. Yeah.
So you're saying we've come a long ways in WWE. That was probably the lowest, at one of the low points of the WWE.
Yeah, we're talking I've always spoken of like post Hulk Hogan, pre Stone Cold. It was you're trying to find, is Lex our guy? Is Yokozuna our guy? Is Bret Hart our guy? Is Max Moon? Is he our man? Who's it gonna be? Doink? Is that the guy?
Bam Bam?
Yeah, it was
Diesel. They landed on Diesel.
Yeah,
and Razor Ramon.
And something happened. So you see the the huge like theatrics, almost Roman Colosseum gladiator style. Wrestlemania 3, the Pontiac Silverdome of the moving, the roving wheels and little small rings that Andre would come down in and Hulk Hogan. That's in WrestleMania 3. But at 10, we have maybe the smallest entrance ramp I've ever seen. I mean, I've seen nowadays like a Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
The entrance, it was 12 times greater than this. It's literally almost like a house show.
Yeah.
This is WrestleMania 10. I mean, 7 years removed from the Silverdome. What happened?
What did you say the event was? The event space?
I forgot. I'm going to check it out. I've forgotten, actually. I'm curious because it seemed to me I think it was Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, well, Madison Square Garden does have it's pretty small.
I guess so, but
And
I
they
think
do
of
pretty small
WrestleMania
entrances.
20, which is where it seemed like a bigger. I don't know how they do the magic, but it seemed much, much bigger than WrestleMania 10.
They probably cleared out some of the floor space. Yeah, but probably in that one they were trying to get as many people in there as they could.
Yeah.
Because most of their money probably depended on the gate, not necessarily the pay-per-view buys.
Right.
While you're double checking that, you've also been going back and you were telling me like all the Nitros, all the Raws through the Monday Night Wars are on there.
They are. For the most part, every single moment of every wrestling show ever. It's crazy.
And I told you to go find me at Starrcade.
Yeah, I should do that.
Which was a WCW pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It's Starrcade 96.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember what part? What moment?
It's when Hall and Nash come out.
Were you giving the two sweets? What were we doing?
Well, I'm dressed as Razor Ramon.
Are you serious?
Our buddy Mike is got sunglasses and a NWO do-rag, and he's holding up a sign that says "Welcome to Hall in Nashville."
Wow.
And then it just kind of pans, and you can see me, and I'm pretty sure I'm giving the two sweets.
I can see the two sweets. Yeah.
Pretty sure that's what I'm doing.
So WrestleMania 10, I'm looking, and it's reminding me looking at the list here. America the Beautiful is sang by Little Richard that night. You have re-announcing for the Lex Luger-Yokozuna match. You had Donnie Wahlberg was there as the ring-announcer.
Ooh.
And then for the Bret Hart Yokozuna match later on, which the Bret Hart and Zuna each had 2 matches apiece, Burt Reynolds was your man for that. I mean, it's crazy what all happened here. It was a rough event.
This has got to be right before, like a year before, or maybe 2 years before, Diesel versus Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
When Pamela Anderson comes out with one and Jenny McCarthy comes out with the other.
I think that was 11 or 12. I think 11,
yeah.
I want to say. The first 30 minutes, for some reason, they cut to the crowd. The president's here. There's I guess he was on a show at the time maybe, but a pretty legit-looking Bill Clinton impersonator. He stands up with the spotlight and waves, but it's clearly not Bill Clinton. And the funny thing is, they don't even mention it, but he's sitting right next to Jack Tunney. I'm like, presidents are all right there.
Fake Jack Tunney.
No, the real Jack Tunney was Jack Tunney.
Well, the fake president.
Yeah. But
I can't believe Jack Tunney was never really president.
I know. It was crazy, right? But in that one shot, you got to look it up. There's a fake Bill Clinton waving. Next to him, to his left, you see Jack Tunney sitting down with thick glasses, probably getting pretty old at that point. And behind him, in full character and full costume, Erwin R. Shyster. In the crowd, and it's actually Mike Rotunda. I don't know what's happening. I mean, it's a circus. Please go watch WrestleMania 10. Like, they didn't know what was happening.
Before we get into my list, tell me about the last Hogan appearance on Nitro.
Oh, yeah. I believe that was, I want to say, Bash at the Beach in 2000, I want to say. And so Hogan, throughout all of WCW, had a creative clause in his contract. If there was ever a time his storyline was taking a path he didn't like, he could veto that moment. Isn't that kind of crazy to think about?
I mean, those were the deals they were signing back then to get the big names from the
insane. So
or the F at the time.
The moment comes up where he is going to lose cleanly to Jeff Jarrett. He didn't approve of that. And so Vince Russo at the time was one of the creative guys, and to his face says, okay, cool. But behind his back tells Jeff Jarrett when he gets in the ring just to lie down and just take a pin. There's no need even giving a story because no matter what, Hulk Hogan gets what he wants. So the match happens. Vince Russo comes down holding the belt on the outside. Hogan's kind of like, this is weird, but okay. The bell rings. Jeff Jarrett falls flat on his back. And Hogan, out of character, is like, what the hell's going on here? And so he kind of, points to Russo like, is this your deal? Puts his foot on Jeff Jarrett, gets the 1-2-3 count. Jarrett rolls out under the ropes. Vince Russo just throws the championship belt to him like it means nothing at the time. Hogan grabs the mic, cuts a promo on Vince as he's leaving down the ramp. and just expletives and calls him names and totally breaks character and says it's bullshit like this is why the company's going down the drain. It was weird to watch.
Yeah.
He leaves. The last time we ever see him in a WCW ring ever, Vince Russo comes back in the ring and cuts like a good 5-minute promo on the terrible character of Terry Bollea, Hulk Hogan. And then Hulk, in real life, gives a defamation of character lawsuit on Vince Russo because of that promo.
Wow.
Crazy times, right?
Yeah.
We think now that the kayfabe and the idea, the allure, the magic of wrestling is dying, but that was almost 20 years ago and that kind of stuff was happening.
And then, it was like a year later that Vince McMahon ends up buying WCW.
Yeah.
And Nitro opens with Vince just holding his hands
I
up.
watched that last night. That's
Yeah.
funny. I'd never seen the final Nitro.
Yeah.
I'd seen clips, but I watched it from the beginning. It was that always planned to be on the beach like that? That was weird Nitro. It was on Panama City Beach.
It was Panama City Beach. They would always do like a spring break thing.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, and then when Shane McMahon shows up at the end.
Yeah. I was trying to find, because I've always seen clips of that Ric Flair promo he cuts in the ring. They took that out.
Really?
Couldn't find. That was the main reason I wanted to see that, because I think it was kind of a shoot interview, like a promo.
Have you gone and found the Raw when Vince brings the NWO back to WWE?
No, I need to.
It's like the black and white promo, and he's sitting in his office chair, and
Oh yeah.
he's like, "The WWE has a cancer, and if anyone's gonna kill the WWE, it's gonna be me." And then W-O. And then he swings his chair around, and NWO is written on the back of his chair. Oh my goodness, that's one of my favorite promos ever.
I've watched.
Just classic Vince.
I've watched all the moments. Whenever Vince died in the limousine explosion, I watched that.
It's one of my favorites.
That was odd. That was just a weird. Of course, we didn't record that. So the last time I saw that was almost 15 years ago when it happened. The night of, and I haven't seen it since.
The editing in that was great.
It was good. It was seamless.
Yeah,
it was very good.
He shuts the door and the limousine explodes.
The Chris Benoit night it's not on there as I imagined. Remember when it first happened? They
didn't know the specifics,
right?
So it was a we're going to honor Chris Benoit.
Yeah, done. That's nothing. Yeah,
I didn't want to. I found the card for the Starrcade '96 I was at.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Ultimate Dragon with Sonny Ono defeats Dean Malenko. This was, and I had no idea. Like until I read this, no clue. It was a title unification match for the J Crown, which was from New Japan, and the WCW Cruiserweight Championship.
Wow.
A unification match. No clue. I was there. No clue that's what that was.
That's funny.
Kira Hakoto with Sonny Ono versus Medusa.
So much Sonny Ono.
Justin Thunder Liger defeats Rey Mysterio Jr.
Nice.
Jeff Jarrett defeats Chris Benoit with Woman in a no DQ match. The Outsiders, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall with 6 defeated the Faces of Fear, Ming and the Barbarian with Jimmy Hart. Yeah.
So why was he called 6? I know where the 6 come from. What did that mean?
Because he was the 6th one to show up.
Oh, that's kind of dumb.
Because it was the 3, the Hogan, Hall, Nash. Then, what was that? Big Show or Giant turned. So he was 4. And then they showed Ted DiBiase. I think I'm remembering this right. No, Ted DiBiase was the 4th one. And then Big Show turned, so he's 5. And then 6, or X-Pac.
Wow.
Or Sean Waltman shows up and he's 6. He's the 6th member of the NWO. Yeah, so he was 6.
All those his names never made sense. Like, what does X-Pac even mean? We say it and accept it, but what the hell does X-Pac mean?
Yeah, well,
no one actually knows.
I think he was probably a Tupac fan, and he was in D-Generation X, so he was X-Pac.
I guess so.
Well, they couldn't call him the 1-2-3 Kid.
Yeah.
He comes back looking strung out. Look at this fresh face, 1-2-3 Kid. And he was only, 4 years older? I was watching for the first time last year's WrestleMania. He had Sean Waltman had a seat right behind the announcer's table last year. So it's he and his current girlfriend just there watching WrestleMania. Really?
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, it's odd.
Eddie Guerrero defeats Diamond Dallas Page. I remember that. Lex Luger defeats the Giant in a singles match. And here you have, so you have the Outsiders, they're NWO. They were trying to get Diamond Dallas Page to join the NWO. The Giant was NWO. And Rowdy Piper defeats Hollywood Hogan with Ted DiBiase and Miss Elizabeth by submission.
Wow.
I remember that. That's the... That's the match where I got to slap Hulk Hogan on the back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we were like on the second row.
Nice.
And so he and
Now, which venue was this?
this was at Municipal Auditorium in
Wow,
Nashville.
pay-per-views. Wow.
Yeah, I was just reading here. WCW earned $113,000 in ticket sales with an attendance of 9,030. The pay-per-view received a buy rate of 0.95, which is the equivalent of approximately 380,000 buys.
Wow.
The event was released on VHS in the United States on April 14th, 1997.
Wow.
So, any other wrestling? Oh, what are you looking forward to this year? The match you're looking for? I think I know.
Which one?
Triple H.
Yeah, I am. I'm just kind of sad because if he loses, he's retired.
It's a loser leaves town match.
Yeah. It's pretty much, yeah.
This is the question. Is David Bautista, star of the Guardians movie, on cloud 9 now that James Gunn is coming back for Guardians 3? Very happy Bautista. Mm-hmm. Though his promos have been terrible, except for that first night.
Yeah.
The first night, the thing
screen,
with Ric Flair was good.
Yeah.
Everything he's done, he's trying to do this understated villain thing.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, we know and love Batista for the past few years because of Drax, but think back of 2006 WWE Batista. I mean, it wasn't that good.
Yeah. Moon tattoo Batista.
Yeah, let's be honest here. It wasn't great.
Belly ring Batista.
Yeah.
So, but I'm telling you, he's not coming back to lose at WrestleMania. Because this is probably it.
You think he comes back? There's no need to bury Triple H's career like that.
Unless he comes back, loses, and this is like a multi-match thing, and then they'll have a rematch at SummerSlam or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, because they're shooting Guardians 3 fairly soon, I would imagine.
Well, they got to do Suicide Squad first, too.
Is that happening first, actually?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh.
That was the deal.
Interesting.
So Guardians 3 will happen after Suicide Squad.
Interesting.
So he's got a little time to kill.
Yeah.
Unless there's another James Bond movie coming out that he's in.
Yeah, right.
Or a Blade Runner movie.
Yeah.
First ever women's match, main event.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. I can't wait to see this.
But 2 champions now.
I know.
I'm curious. That's
Charlotte Flair.
Unified or what? I don't know.
Ronda Rousey. Have you evolved any more on your theory whether this is real between Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey?
I don't know.
Though I saw
so good, I don't know.
There was an Instagram pic I saw with Becky Lynch who just had the T-shirt on that says "I own Ronnie," which is pretty funny. It's pretty funny.
Now, she has the people on her side, like most hardcore wrestling fans. Just don't like the MMA scene and that person coming in and going to the top. They're smart enough to know how that all works. So
I agree with you though.
Yeah.
It is very Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah,
just with a woman.
Yeah.
And what's some of the other matches?
Of course, we have Brock.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I like Brock, and I like the idea of that, but it's time for that to end, right?
I don't know.
The whole once every 3 months he shows up. I know it's kind of that appeal of an actual champion and doing that thing.
And it's believable.
Right, yeah. I just wonder how much.
How long has this been going on? Like 4 years now?
It's a long time, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to watch pay-per-views at the theater down here, and he was winning championships then.
Yeah.
Remember that? He was.
I remember when Brock showed up is when we first moved into this house.
Yeah.
When he came back. That was almost... No, it couldn't be. Because that was 8 years ago.
It was early, yeah.
That was 8 years ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago, though.
We must have been here a couple of years before then.
Yeah, I remember talking about it here, but it was a while ago.
Yeah. Okay, well, here we go. Anything else about WrestleMania?
That's about it. Yeah, it's time.
I'm going to watch it with you this year.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
It's been a long time since we've done that.
All 14 hours.
Yeah, right.
All 14 hours. So last week, if you joined us, Adam did his favorite 25 movies of all time. I bring you, as of today, March 28th, 2019, in no particular order, these are my favorite films of all time.
And much like you did for me, I will look up your ratings and reviews as you say this. So proceed.
Oh, and you know what? I'll keep a... do you want to write down the years so you can average out what my average year is?
Do that.
So we'll start with... I'm going to do what you did. I'm going to get the obvious ones out of the way.
Okay.
So Back to the Future from 1985. I think we all knew this was going to be on my list. The first adventure of Marty McFly and Doc Brown. Marty travels back to 1955, interacts with his parents, changes the future, has to fix the future.
It's a classic.
Has to get back to the future, has to find 1.21 gigawatts. This is one of the greatest films of all time, in my opinion.
Good reviews here. IMDb 8.5 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes has the 96, and iTunes a 4.7 out of 5.
Now, if you listened last week, you know that Adam had Back to the Future Part 2 on his list.
Right. Pretty bad reviews on that.
I totally disagree with that. If you're going to put a Back to the Future movie on your list, it has to be the first one.
Oh, no, man. 213 all day. I can't.
Huey Lewis in the News, Power of Love, Back in
Yeah.
Time, Roads, Where We're Going, We Don't Need Roads.
Future Biff, good Biff, bad Biff, Grandpa Biff. That's what I need. That's what I need. Old Biffs.
Well, you get 2 Biffs in this one.
Yeah.
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 So why don't you make like a tree and get out of here?
How many Biffs? So we have old Grandpa Biff. I'm talking about in part 2.
Well, in part 2, there's Old Biff,
Right.
Griff,
Griff, yeah.
which is his
yep,
grandson.
Yep.
Then there's 1985 Biff,
Right.
and 1955 Biff, and then alternate 1985 Biff,
So pretty much 5.
which is Donald Trump. He looks like Donald Trump, and he acts like Donald
That's
Trump.
true, yeah.
Yeah, there's 5 Biffs.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want more Biffs. More Biff action.
More Biffs for your buck.
Yeah. So that's 1985, you say. Okay.
And then, but here's the thing too, and I'm telling you, this is a sticking point, and this is like the nerdiest thing you'll hear me say in this entire list. They revisit the Enchantment Under the Sea dance,
Right, yeah.
in the second one, down to when Marty's performing Johnny Be Good from the first one.
Mm-hmm.
It is longer in the second one than it is in the first one.
What does that matter?
It matters to me.
I never noticed that. I didn't.
It's so much longer, so
Yeah.
Marty can do all the stuff that he's doing in the second one, up in the rafters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so good.
So it's a longer guitar solo.
But then
Than
when you
you
go
have
back
in the
and
first
watch,
one.
that makes part 1 much more, much meatier. You go back and see
'Cause
part 1.
and you're thinking Marty's up there.
Exactly.
He's crawling
It
around.
adds to it.
Sandbags.
Part 2 makes number 1 better.
You know that Biff's henchmen are right off stage.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay, here's another one that is pretty obvious that would be on my list. 1989's Batman.
Ah, okay.
The
Okay.
only, am I right about this? The only Tim Burton movie on my list.
I only had one as well.
Yeah, 1989's Batman. Here's the thing. Before Batman in 1989,
Not very high scores, huh?
other than, well, I think those scores are not fair to what that movie was when it came out. Like, it was a pretty, for the
big, yeah.
time, it was a very serious comic book movie in an age where we didn't get serious comic book movies.
By the way, Saturday, May 4th, our local AMC Dine-In Theater, 1 p.m. and 4 p.m., they're showing 89 Batman. Just a heads up.
Really?
Yeah, it just came up.
May 4th, you say?
Yeah, May 4th.
I can have a roast beef sandwich while I watch
Yes, you can.
Batman?
Yeah, at 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock, it's all you.
Michael Keaton is Batman.
Right.
I'm not going to go too far into this because I think I'm still prepared to do a 30th anniversary episode.
Yeah.
So we'll cover a lot of this in that. But
Oh.
Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson, Tim Burton, Prince Music,
Get the funk up.
Alexander Knox,
Oh, wow. Digging deep.
Kim Basinger,
Okay.
Vicky Vale,
Yeah.
gets into the Batcave. 89's Batman.
So I'm curious, is this the only DC movie you have? Nope, it won't be. I know that. Is this the only Batman movie you'll have on here?
No.
Oh, interesting. Okay. That's what okay.
Because I am a huge fan of Batman and Robin. Let's see what else would be obvious on mine. Well, you know what? We'll just stick with the theme. 2008's The Dark Knight.
Uh-huh. Okay, that's what I was asking.
How is that not on your list? Is my question.
It's good.
I was really surprised that was not on your list.
Yeah. I thought about that, and so when I watch that movie, I watch it quite often. And when I say watch, I mean fast forward until all the Heath Ledger moments.
Yeah.
If Heath Ledger isn't on that screen, I get bored with that movie. It's very, but his moments are fantastic. Some of the best acting I've ever seen. But when he's not on there, I get bored.
So you don't like any of the Harvey Dent stuff?
No, not at all.
You either die a hero or
No.
live long enough to see yourself
Those
become the
moments
villain.
are just tear-inducing boredom. But whenever Heath Ledger comes up dressed in a nurse outfit, I'm all for it, 100%. It's just a vast difference. I mean, it's tough to go back. It's some extremes there.
What about the cinematography of 2008's
Very
The
good.
Dark
Yeah,
Knight?
very good. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
He knows his stuff.
Yeah.
Very high scores, 9 out of 10, IMDb at 94%. 1% more than Spy Kids. Keep that in mind. On Rotten Tomatoes, 1% more.
At least I have a movie that beats Spy Kids.
Yeah. We're at 1% more than Shazam. I know you haven't seen Shazam, but you know that movie deserves more than 1% higher than Shazam. Come on. Get the hell out of here.
Shazam right now. And here's the thing about it. And look, I'm excited for Shazam. I've heard nothing but good things. But those Rotten Tomato scores are based on people who would want to go see that movie.
Right, yeah.
Because they did the whole Fandango go for free 2 weeks before anybody else if you're a Fandango rewards member. And so, yeah, the people that went last weekend to see that are going to rate it pretty high because they wanted to go see it early, which means they were really looking forward to it.
How do you explain Spy Kids?
Robert Rodriguez. Have you seen Spy Kids?
Parts of it. I'm good.
Now, are you sure you're not confusing this with Shark Boy and Lava Girl?
Yeah, positive. It's no Team Jacob. I promise you that.
Spy Kids is really good.
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah.
What else on my list that might be?
Is it 93% good though?
93% is good.
I mean, is Spy Kids 93% good? That's what I'm saying.
As a kids movie, yes. As a kids movie, Spy Kids is 93% good.
Okay.
Look, as just a movie, I would say it's 85% good.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
I don't think you've seen it.
But all I need to see is what I've seen. I'm good. I will not watch it start to finish. 3 is pretty good because Stallone's in there, but continue.
1978 Superman.
I thought that was good. You have a lot of DC, huh?
Well, I'm getting all the obvious ones out of the way first.
That's a lot of DC.
What, 2, 3?
We're on out of 4, we've seen 3 so far. That's a hell of a lot. We're at 75% DC.
I cannot not put, if this is a list of my favorite movies, and I'm basing this on how many times I've seen these, I would sit down and watch any of these 3 movies right now and enjoy it as if it was the first time I saw them.
These are very different scores I'm seeing here.
1978 Superman, I think, begins the whole modern superhero movie.
Yeah. I agree with that.
The only problem was it was made by people who didn't read comic books and written by a guy who wrote The Godfather.
Yeah. 11 years. So from 1978 to 1989's Batman seems like a lifetime of difference. It's 11 years.
And you know what we got in between there?
What's that?
Captain America movie that never saw the light of day.
Right, yeah.
Superman 2, which was okay. Superman 3, which is
Yeah.
And Superman 4, The Quest for Peace.
Uh-huh.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean,
and a Captain America movie that didn't make it to theaters.
11 years back is 2008 with The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Think about that 11-year gap. Wow. That seems like a big difference from Superman to Batman 89, but it's not long at all.
And 2008 was also the year that we got the first Iron Man movie, which is not on my list, by the way.
And Hancock.
Oh, and Hancock.
I love sequels more. I won't say much about it, but I think I like 2 more than 1. I think Zod wins.
2 is a better comic book story than the first Superman movie. Because there's nothing really, I mean, it's a land swindle deal, really, is what the first Superman's about. Lex Luthor wants to up the value of his land, and he's going to do it using missiles. That's the plot. And then Superman spins around the world.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Not to be insensitive, but I was never a big fan of Margot Kidder as Lois Lane.
Same.
Even as a kid.
Yeah, same.
I never was a big fan. I love, though, to me, Superman is Christopher Reeves.
He's good. Even the Brandon Routh portrayal is just a mirror image of that, which is fine.
Yeah.
That's what it is, though.
But I think Chris Reeve is the essential or quintessential Superman, which is part of the problem I had with Man of Steel.
Really?
He just didn't have the heart that I feel like Superman should have.
Hashtag not my Superman?
Not quite my Superman.
Yeah. Okay.
Almost.
Okay.
I like Henry Cavill as Superman. I think it was just a bad director. Sorry. All right. How about some of these that I haven't made you say wow yet? 1942's Casablanca.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, big really.
Bogart and Bacall?
Yeah. That was one of the movies back on the film school train that was on the list, and I hate that damn movie.
What do you hate about this movie?
It's boring. I can't do it. I remember watching it just like, ugh, take my eyes, please. I've seen it at least twice. Can't tell you one thing about the plot. Not one single thing. I have no idea what's happening.
You don't like Humphrey Bogart?
No. It's all good. Hey, this is not my list. I'm here just to look at your reviews.
Well, I just feel like I have to defend Casablanca to you.
No, I know the world loves it. That's fine.
You played it for her, now play it for me?
Yeah. Great reviews, though.
That whole scene at the end on the tarmac,
97% Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, I can't.
Where she's going to fly out and he knows that he's going to die there?
Yeah. I think it's nostalgic. I think you have those black and white glasses on.
I'm nostalgic for a movie that came out 30 years before I was born.
Yeah,
I don't know.
can't.
I don't know how it could be nostalgic for Casablanca.
That's a tough one for me.
Other than I'm a fan of fine cinema.
Wow, that's a tough one. It's there. People love it. The reviews say it.
All right, how about this one?
Ebert gave it a 4 out of 4.
Yeah.
What kind of rating is a 4? Who does that? It's terrible.
Wait. If you can't go after the movie, you're going to go after the rating system?
Yeah, it's always been dumb to me. 4 stars? Even 5's kind of condensing, but 4? Damn.
Well, how many do you want?
I mean, bare minimum 5. Bare minimum.
I would prefer 12. That way, if it's 6, that's actually 50%.
Like 4 makes no sense. Like a 2-star to a 3-star is a big from a 50 to a 75 is a huge jump. A 3 to a 4 star is a 75 to 100.
By your rationale, look how good Casablanca is. It's 4 out of 4.
I know, so that should be
It's like a near perfect movie.
That's what it's saying. Like 4 out of 4 means 10 out of 10, which means 100. You can't do that.
All right, well, let me get your take on 1946's It's a Wonderful Life.
Okay. I like that one much better.
I love It's a Wonderful Life.
I do like that movie a lot.
George Bailey. I feel like sometimes I'm George Bailey.
Really?
I'd like to see what the world would be like without me.
No, I do enjoy that movie. I like it a lot.
Mr. Potter.
I don't really understand why it's thought of as a Christmas movie, but I'll take it. I mean,
only a little bit of that movie takes place at Christmas.
I don't understand that. Yeah.
Maybe it's because it's snowing when he jumps off or wants to jump off the bridge.
93 is the magical Rotten Tomatoes number. It's a Wonderful Life is the exact same as Shazam and Spy Kids. 93%. That's good. It's good.
I would recommend It's a Wonderful Life to anybody.
Yeah, I do enjoy it.
A lot of people can't watch black and white movies.
Why not?
I don't know. They have to have color. I think there's a lot more depth to some of these black and white films because there is no color.
It is a tough sell for people. It's in today's day and age with, I mean, think of what all's happening in like Infinity War. Not just the color, but the computer graphics, everything's happening. It's just it's tough to have a man and a woman in black and white on a soundstage. It's tough for your senses to, without insulting it, to dumb those senses down. It's what you have to do.
Yeah.
You have to de-evolve them.
I mean, Jimmy Stewart takes you on a journey, like you said, on a soundstage, standing next to fake shrubs with lines like, well, what do you want, Mar? You want the moon? You want me to lasso the moon for you, Mar? And it's, I don't know. It's fantastic cinema. It's a Wonderful Life. Definitely one of my favorite movies of all time. 1954's Rear Window.
Oh, good. God almighty.
Speaking of Jimmy Stewart.
Yeah.
And Alfred Hitchcock.
Uh-huh.
I watched this one not too long ago again.
Yeah.
This is...
I mean, you actually like that, though?
Have you ever seen Rear Window?
Yeah, it's a film school classic.
Like, you weren't entranced by the whole, like, voyeuristic nature
Lord,
of
these reviews. It's terrible.
You don't like Rear Window?
This is Trump's America. That's what this is.
I mean...
100% Rotten Tomatoes.
I cannot argue with that. When was the last time you saw it? How old were you?
18, 19. Yeah.
You should go back and watch. I think if you watched Rear Window today, you would have a whole new appreciation for it.
Yeah.
For the cerebral mystery of that film. What's really going on? Is it going on this guy that becomes obsessed with, what's going on in the apartment across from him, trying to figure it out? He almost drives himself crazy making up the story in his head of what's going on with this couple. Rear Window, 1954.
I'll look at it again, yeah.
Give it a... You're not watching that again.
How about you bring some color into my life here? How about that, huh?
Okay. I'll jump around.
I didn't know that the oldies would be so dominant in your list. I didn't know this.
How about this? I'll go to 2000.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coen Brothers.
Yeah.
This is my favorite Coen Brothers movie.
I'm down for that.
My favorite George Clooney movie.
I'm down for that as well.
And possibly, I don't know, is it my favorite John Goodman movie?
Don't forget Lebowski. Don't do that.
No, it's not my favorite John Goodman movie. But the ensemble cast in this is great.
A 77% Rotten Tomatoes and a 7.8 on IMDb. Pretty much the same mirrored thing there.
And I like all the quotable lines.
They were good
in this one.
Yeah, the music's classic, of course.
Yeah.
Soggy Bottom Boys.
Friend, Your folding money's come unstowed. I thought you
I
were
love
a toad.
this. I love. Yeah, I mean, it's based on the Odyssey, of course. I like that idea and concept of modernization, but yet not. It's like a modernization from 70 years ago,
Yeah.
based on an old story, centuries old. It's kind of cool.
Is you or is you not my constituents?
Oh wow, yeah.
I am not. I do not mind telling you I'm a member of a secret society. I think you know what I'm talking about. And the sanctity of the society was ruined earlier tonight. I love Oh Brother Where Art Thou. And it is a good soundtrack.
I almost got No Country for Old Men on mine. Almost did.
Dude, No Country for Old Men almost made my list,
Yeah,
too.
that's really good.
Yeah, that is...
Anton Chigurh is a fantastic character.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
And in the best murder weapon ever in a movie.
I was curious. I looked up No Country for Old Men on here. 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. Is that the thing to do? Shazam and Spy Kids and No Country for Old Men together.
And...
Oh, and what else? We've had...
it was It's a Wonderful Life, right?
Oh, yeah.
And Rear Window.
Oh, man.
You want some more color in your life?
Yeah, please.
2004, Shaun of the Dead.
Oh,
Let's talk about Shaun of the
you would do
Dead.
that, yeah.
We both love this movie.
It's good, yeah.
Did this movie rekindle the love of zombie films and almost create the zombie revolution that we saw just a few years back?
It's possible, yeah.
It was definitely part of it. But I think it was one of the first ones out of the gate.
I could be. I want to say that the Dawn of the Dead remake was the year before that. I want to say it may have been 2004. It was around the same time.
Yeah.
I think both of those had a big hit on it.
Love Shaun of the Dead.
Close. A 92% on Rotten Tomatoes, 7.9 on IMDb, and a 76% Metacritic.
And the best of the trilogy. Shaun of the Dead is the best of the... what's that trilogy called?
I forgot.
It's the name of the ice cream, right?
It's still, yeah. The one I've seen, though, is that one. Never saw the others.
Oh, really? You haven't seen Hot Fuzz?
No.
Because you went to see The Condemned.
Right.
I remember that story. And End of the World, is that the other one?
Or World's End?
At World's End,
Yeah.
yeah. All good. All great.
Yeah.
But Shaun of the Dead is the best.
Yeah, it's
I
good.
love the editing.
Mm-hmm.
The editing of Shaun of the Dead is, I think, what I'm the biggest fan of. Especially when Shaun goes through all the scenarios about how he's going to rescue his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah. Right. That's good.
How about 1980s Raiders of the Lost Ark?
There you go. Is that your... Yep.
Third one. Third
Yep.
poster. Third poster. This is George Lucas and Steven Spielberg working together, and we are introduced to probably one of the top 3 greatest action heroes of all time in Indiana Jones.
Okay.
I know. It really confuses me what you don't like about Raiders.
I don't know. I don't know. I think Harrison Ford is a tough sell for me.
It's so
As much as I
weird.
love Star Wars, he's by far my least favorite actor in the whole movie, the whole series. Something I like him. He seems like a jerk. Like when I see Mark Hamill seems nice.
Uh-huh.
Harrison Ford, not so much.
Get off my plane.
Exactly, yeah. Earrings and stuff.
This belongs in a museum. Yeah, Raiders. I think we've talked about Indiana Jones movies a lot on the show, so
Yeah.
I'll skip to something else. What did you say the...
95% Rotten Tomatoes and 8.5 IMDb and 85 Metacritic.
Let's do another oldie.
Okay.
1960 Psycho. Alfred Hitchcock. Once again, if you noticed, Alfred Hitchcock has, let's see, I did Rear Window 1, 2. There's 2 Hitchcock movies on my list. There was almost 3, but I took it off. North by Northwest almost made it to my list.
Really?
With Cary Grant.
Wow.
But I like Psycho probably a lot more than North by Northwest. 1960 Psycho. Best horror movie ever?
Most critically acclaimed, yes. We'll say that. Let's choose my wording
How about
carefully. 97% Rotten Tomatoes, 97.
Take best out of it. Most influential horror movie ever?
I don't know. People try to put it on that. I don't see it. They say it's the birth of like the slasher. I don't see the slasher effect to it. I don't see I see a good plot twist. Besides that, I don't see anything else. I love it. Love it.
So Norman Bates is not a slasher icon.
I don't think so. He's always putting that. I mean, even like the movie Maniacs line with Freddy Krueger and Leatherface and Jason, Michael Myers. There's always a Norman Bates there sometimes, like in the figures and the icons. I don't know.
The original movie Creep.
Yeah.
Norman Bates.
Yeah. We did a whole Psycho retrospective last year. Remember that?
Yeah, for Halloween.
1 through 4.
And we watched the.
Yeah.
we actually watched the other Psycho movies.
Right. Yeah.
So that's on my list. I'm going to go back. 1973's The Sting.
Ah, interesting. Okay.
Really?
Interesting. Okay.
Robert Redford.
Yeah.
Paul Newman.
Never. Yeah.
Go ahead. You look like you're about to say something.
I've just never even heard of this movie, but
Are you serious?
I don't know what you're talking. I'm looking it up right now. I have no clue what you're saying. Yeah, I don't know. This is interesting. I don't know.
Will you please watch this movie? I think you would really enjoy this movie. I'm being serious. It has such a unique feel to it. I mean, it almost feels like you're watching a stage production because it's obviously sets that they're on, and it feels very much like like I said, like a stage production, like you're watching a stage production.
It won Best Picture that year.
Mm-hmm. It's it is truly a movie that I saw probably in high school was the first time I saw The Sting and just fell in love with it. And I will sit down and watch that film anytime.
Wow.
I've owned it on VHS. I've owned it on DVD and Blu-ray.
Congrats for having a title I've never even heard of before. Congrats.
Are you serious? Yeah. Have you ever heard of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Paul Newman and Robert Redford.
Yeah.
Though that came out after The Sting. I think The Sting was the first time they were on screen together.
Huh.
But that chemistry between those two is great. Where Paul Newman kind of takes Robert Redford's character under his wing, teaching him the ways of the con. Huh. It's a con film.
What am I thinking about? Like a billiards movie? What am I mixing up here? One of those
For
guys,
the Love of Money.
One of those guys?
The Hustler. Yeah.
Okay. Were they both in that, or just one of those in that?
Paul Newman.
Okay.
Yeah. And Cool Hand Luke is what you're thinking. Cool Hand Luke was the original one. Yeah. And then, what we have here is a failure to communicate. That's Cool Hand Luke. And then the sequel was it The Hustler or was it The Color of Money? It might have been The Color of Money with Tom Cruise. But I'm talking about The Sting. There's no billiards. It's all about a horse racing con.
Oh wow! Okay.
And getting back at the bad guy. Okay. And Paul Newman does this bit where he's trying to pull the bad guy into the con, who, by the way, is played by the actor from Jaws that was the old boat captain. Same actor. And so he does this bit where he's supposed to play like this kind of drunk, douchey guy.
Yeah.
Paul Newman does. And is one of the most brilliant scenes in cinema. That's right. I said it. Where he sits down to play cards with him. And
from The Sting. Wow.
And suck him in. Yeah. It's a great movie. I can't say anything else. 1994 is Pulp Fiction.
Okay. Nice.
How is this not on your list?
I can only do one Tarantino. It had to be...
and you went with Django.
Yeah, I had to go Django.
Not Pulp Fiction. When you said Django on yours, I'm like, well, I mean, it's good.
Yeah.
It's no Pulp Fiction.
Really?
The dialogue, man. The dialogue is so much better in Pulp Fiction.
I don't know.
And
I don't know. I love them all. They're good.
They're real good. Just the dynamic between Samuel Jackson and John Travolta.
94% Rotten Tomatoes, 8.9 IMDb, 94 Metacritic.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
And quotable. One of those quotable films.
It's very well done.
But also probably the biggest example of why Tarantino shouldn't put himself in the films.
Yeah, it's a sore thumb.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
It really is. Like you have this great acting all the way through up to that point. Now, that scene is funny.
I think the Bruce Willis ruins it for me.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not a he's almost at the Harrison Ford level.
Butch.
I think guys like their personalities, I can't look past that in the character.
I don't understand. I mean, I know Harrison Ford comes off as kind of a curmudgeon.
Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't want him around me. Same for Bruce. I hear Bruce Willis is a terrible person. Mm-hmm. Just a jerk.
So you can't enjoy a Die Hard movie.
Yeah.
You can't enjoy Moonlighting.
Yeah, see, I don't know.
You can't enjoy Seagram's commercials from the
Think of
80s.
one, Bruce Willis movie. I don't really like them.
Have you ever seen a Bruce Willis movie?
Yeah, tons. Yeah.
What have you seen?
Of course, Pulp Fiction. Die Hard now. Unbreakable is all right, but it's not my favorite.
What did you think of Die Hard when you saw it? Because Die Hard almost made this list too, and it did.
I saw it too late. It's one of those, I believe, much like Indiana Jones, if I were younger or closer to its release, it would be fantastic, but now it's a big old meh.
Wow.
Yeah. I think I was too late in the game.
So if you had to put 2 Tarantino movies on your list, what would have been your second one? Because see, this one, like, Django wouldn't even be the second one I would put on.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, it was almost Inglourious Bastards.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yes.
Really? Huh. I mean, Django would make top 10. If I had to make a top 10 list, Django would do it. I guess.
Kill Bill.
Yeah, Kill Bill Volume 1.
Yeah.
2's pretty bad.
Yeah, I think it fell apart in the second one.
Yeah, I didn't like 2 at all.
I didn't either.
Loved 1. So Kill Bill Volume 1 would be the other one. And then Pulp Fiction for me.
But Pulp Fiction is, this is one of those movies that I went to see and didn't really like it the first time I saw it.
Really?
I really didn't care for it. I was just like, okay, I don't know what the big deal is. And then I saw it again. And then I saw it again. And then it just kind of grew on me.
Yeah.
As the dialogue.
Had the American Psycho effect on you?
Yeah, kind of. Kind of. 1998's The Big Lebowski.
Nice, okay.
Didn't we talk about Big Lebowski last week?
We did, I believe, yeah.
Because I said it was a great comedy in the 90s.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Once again, Coen Brothers, John Goodman, Jeff Bridges, who has really, in real life, just become the dude.
That's true, yeah.
Like, he didn't act like that before The Big Lebowski.
Right.
Now, that's just Jeff Bridges.
Lower scores here. 71% Metacritic, 82 Rotten Tomatoes, 8.1 IMDb.
Really?
Lower than I thought would be, yeah.
That is very low.
I mean, so far, of all those movies you've announced, or even mine, probably, this is a very heavy cult classic movie. I mean, full weekend-based conventions based on this movie.
Yeah.
You know, big deal.
The next one is, and you know, I'm a fan. I love the music.
Yeah.
Love the comedy.
Yeah.
I love the comedians involved.
Yeah.
I love the writers. Love the band director.
Harlem
I love
Nights?
the band. That's a good one too. 1980s, the Blues Brothers.
Nice.
Finishing out the posters. Well, no,
right,
not yet.
right.
Not yet.
Oh, yeah, Will won it. Yeah,
But I will admit, how about I admit this?
Uh-huh.
I know I'm a big fan of the Blues Brothers. I discovered the Blues Brothers when I was in high school. You know, it was one of those that all my friends, we all watched. I can understand how dated and probably uninteresting that movie would be unless you discovered it under those circumstances.
Yeah.
Though the music is great.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I saw Blues Brothers 2000 before this one. And, I mean, I love that soundtrack. To this day, I like that 2000 soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
It was good.
Soundtrack's really good.
It's a long movie, 2.5 hours, Blues
Yeah.
Brothers was. Wow.
It is.
For a 1980 comedy.
You got my cheese whiz, boy.
Semi all-right score. It's 83% Rotten Tomatoes, 4 out of 5 on Common Sense Media, and a 7.9 IMDb.
You boys drank a lot of beer. Next one on my list, 2004's The Village.
That almost made my list.
M. Night Shyamalan. I love this movie so much.
I had to take it off, though. Had to. Just make room. Very good. That's my favorite M. Night for sure.
Is this your favorite Joaquin Phoenix movie?
Yeah. And what year is that? You said 04?
04, yeah. Is this your favorite Bryce Dallas Howard?
Actually, you know what? That's not my favorite Joaquin Phoenix.
Walk the Line.
Her was on my list, and I had to take it off.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
I love her.
Yeah.
But The Village is fantastic. I think as far as movie plot twist, I can't think of one better than this. It has multiple layers to it. When you find out, it's been 15 years. We can talk about it. So it starts off. Well, you explain it. It's your movie.
I think I love the fact that it is basically a grief survivors group who have lost someone close to them through basically the pitfalls of modern life.
Uh-huh.
So
Wow.
they literally or literally retreat into the past by forming this colony that basically lives as Puritans would have lived.
Yeah.
And they have children and they marry and they raise kids. And so these kids are coming up with the fear of not leaving the village because of this monster that will get them. And a lot of problems that people have with this is that it's sold as a monster movie.
It's part of the fun. Like, there are 3 parts to this movie: the monster, when you find out the parents are the monsters,
Yeah.
and then the final scene when she jumps the wall.
Right.
I mean, it's not a full part, but it's a chapter for sure.
Yeah, because up through this movie, you don't know that it's a survivors group and grief and all this, and you think you're watching a movie basically in a Puritan village in the 1800s, or maybe like 1700s.
Yeah, it's old.
And so so the kids won't leave the village because there's monsters in there, and then I forget what it is, but one of the kids gets really sick.
Yeah. Was it Joaquin Phoenix? No, he's an Adrian Brody dies.
Yeah, Adrian Brody dies.
Yeah.
Well, Adrian Brody murders somebody.
Does he?
Yeah,
I
that
think
was
you're
the whole
right.
thing. Like, Adrian Brody was kind of crazy.
Yeah, then he dresses up in the monster costume and kind
actually-
of falls in a ditch and hole and dies, right?
Yeah, but he actually murdered someone.
yeah.
And then, so the gig is kind of up, and they realize that they have to send someone into modern life to get the medicine that they need. And they pick Bryce Dallas Howard because she's blind. So there will not be the culture shock for her because she won't see that, I can imagine. Imagine never seeing
Yeah.
a Boeing 747 fly over.
I mean, the first thing we see is, she jumps the park wall, that concrete wall,
Yeah.
and the park ranger SUV pulls up.
Yeah.
And you're like,
What?
you've had an hour and a half invested into this world, centuries in the past.
Yeah.
You see an SUV roll up.
And who's the park ranger?
Who was that?
M. Night Shyamalan.
You're right. It
Yeah,
was.
He's
yeah.
the park ranger.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I love The Village.
Look at this vast difference of rating. 6.5 IMDb for The Village, 44% Rotten Tomatoes, and a 1 out of 4 for Roger Ebert.
I remember it being a very divisive movie.
I loved it.
I did too.
Big fan.
And I love Signs. I liked Signs and The Village a lot more than The Sixth Sense. Everybody talks about The Sixth
Yeah,
Sense.
same.
The Sixth Sense is good, but to me it's Signs. And they have very similar feelings to them too, where it seems very much one thing and it turns out to be something totally different.
Yeah.
Whereas I think with Sixth Sense, it's just kind of a twist with the kid is actually, can talk to dead people. Well, or Bruce Willis is dead the entire time. Another Bruce Willis movie.
Yeah, he's everywhere.
But Signs almost made it here. I think Signs might have been the first M. Night Shyamalan movie I saw.
Really?
Yeah, because I didn't see The Sixth Sense when it first came out.
Huh.
And then, like you said, Unbreakable. I liked Unbreakable. I really liked, oh shoot, what was the one 2 years ago that we just had the sequel to?
Oh, Split.
Split.
Yeah, that was good.
I really liked Split.
Very good.
Too. Next on my list, 1984's Ghostbusters.
Yep.
You knew this was going to be on.
Yeah, I knew. Yeah.
If I listed Ghostbusters as what I think is the funniest movie of all time, clearly it's going to be in my top 25 films.
Yeah.
Or favorite films. We've talked a lot about Ghostbusters over the years, too. I don't think there's much more we could say about it.
Think so?
1958's Vertigo. Another Hitchcock.
This is...
What? Oh, yeah, we need to do the stuff on Ghostbusters.
Well, I was going to, but it took me to... I think it's a combo of the new one and the old scores. Let's go to 1984. Okay, wow. 97% Rotten Tomatoes Ghostbusters has.
It's better than Spot
A
Kids.
7.8 IMDb and a 4 out of 5 on Common Sense. Proceed.
What's the common sense quote?
Does it say things on the website?
Yeah, you can go in and read like like the when they talk about,
3 out of 5 for positive messages.
really? What's
Yeah.
the positive messages?
Let's see, click on that. A rare movie where scientists save the day. Friendship is also an important theme, though the friends are far from perfect, as are curiosity and teamwork.
I guess that's at the end.
What about sex? Ooh, a fantasy scene implies Ray receives oral pleasure. Was it oral pleasure?
And the Ghostbusters montage?
Yeah. I knew he got his belt unbuckled, then it was eyes rolling. That was oral pleasure? Couldn't be like a ghost dry handy or something? I don't know. I didn't think it was oral. You see his pants mysteriously unzip down to his underwear and his eyes crossed in pleasure. Dana makes bold sexual advances while possessed, writhing around and showing lots of leg. She even says, "Do you want this body? Take me now, and I want you inside me." She says, "I want you inside me?"
Because Venkman says, "Oh, I think there's plenty of people in there now."
That's what, yeah. Plus a few kisses and plenty of innuendo, including a joke about getting the Stay Puft Marshmallow laid. This website is fantastic. Oh, man.
He's a sailor. He's in town.
Language, 3 out of 5. Shit is said 3 times. Bitch once, ass in other versions a few times. Pissed, hell, mother puss bucket.
Mother putz bucket.
And jokes about an EPA official having no... This is a fun site. Okay, I'm not going to look. Drinking, drugs, and smoking, all I can think about is...
They smoked the whole time.
Yeah. Ray Stantz always has a cigarette half out of his mouth. Remember with Slimer, and it's half in.
They drink a lot. There's a lot of beer cans.
Share a bottle of hard alcohol after being fired from their jobs.
Uh-huh.
A ghost chugs wine that goes right through him.
Oh, yep. Well, that would be Slimer.
Consumerism is a thing to worry about?
Yes.
Coke is seen a few times. A Twinkie is used as a metaphor. And one of the Ghostbusters shouts, "It's Miller time."
It's Miller time.
Cheez-Its and Budweisers are consumed. A montage shows the Ghostbusters on the cover of some prominent magazines like Time and The Atlantic with the voices of Casey Kasem and Larry King in the background. I want to spend hours on this website now. I can see it. That's funny.
Yeah, because Larry King's like, have you seen Elvis and how is he? And then, Casey Kasem is in the background during America's Top 40. Where he talks about the Ghostbusters showing up, getting Ghost out of a nightclub, and then dancing the night away. And the boys in blue stayed to dance the night away. I'm Casey Kasem. Now back to the countdown.
The violence. I can't handle this. Okay, we'll have to go on. I'll read
What's
this
the
all night.
violence?
A building crumbles and pieces fall in a crowd below, who also almost gets smashed by a 50-foot walking marshmallow. Mentions of ancient god worship and sacrifices, as well as Judgment Day and what it meant according to the Bible and other traditions. A demigod attacks with lightning bolts coming from her arms. It's pretty violent.
Yeah, Zool.
Yeah.
1984's Ghostbusters.
Last one. Positive role model and representations, 2 out of 5. Peter Venkman is shown as a bit of a womanizer for comic effect.
A bit?
But figures out he'll have more chances getting the girl through heroism. The Ghostbusters then band together and trust each other in difficult situations. That's all I need to do. That's it.
What'd you do, Ray?
Wow, people's reviews on here mad about the implied oral sex? The implied oral sex from the spirit was way too much and too graphic for my kids. Is the first time I found a common sense rating to be off the mark. It should be higher, let's say. The parent of a 10-year-old got offended.
What year was this?
2009, the person wrote that review.
And the parent had never seen Ghostbusters?
This person says the movie's for age 12 and up. I love this movie, but I don't think the implied oral sex scene is for kids of this age.
They cut it
I
out.
watched this when I was 4.
They cut it out of the television edit.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Well, of course they cut it out of the television edit.
I don't know, man. I don't get it. It's not like it's implied. His pants are unbuckled, then he's crossing his eyes. I mean, at the end of the day, you take your pants off. It just feels good. That's how I took it.
Just want to relax.
I never took it as that. I really didn't.
When was the last time you watched it?
I mean, a few years ago, the few weeks before the new Ghostbusters came out, we watched 1 and 2 back to back to get prepped. So what, 2016?
When you watch 1 and 2 back to back, do you see the stark difference of how bad 2 is compared to 1?
I don't hate 2. I don't like it as much as 1. 1 is much better, but I don't hate 2. I mean, 2's like an 85. 1's like a 90 to me.
I don't think it's that close.
Really? I don't think. Yeah. Huh.
I don't like all the. I don't know. I just didn't.
You want more Ghost BJs? Is that what you're missing in your Ghostbusters movie?
There wasn't a good Ghostbusters montage. Was there even a Ghostbusters? Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was. There was a montage.
Bobby Brown. Come on.
Oh, that's true. Can I get one of those proton packs for my cousin? Okay. Here's one that was on your list.
Okay.
2018 Avengers Infinity War.
Nice.
It's on my list.
Nice.
We talked about that one on yours. 1991. This is one of the rare occasions where I think the sequel is actually better than the original.
Nice.
Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
That was a good one. That's good.
I mean, I think this was...
I mean, everyone agrees 2 is the best one, though, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like... Wait, am I going to spoil... Yeah, well, I was going to give an example, but... Yeah.
93% Rotten Tomatoes.
Terminator 2 Judgment Day?
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
It's really good.
The graphics at the time were mind-blowing.
Cameron was able to use the water effects that he developed for the Abyss and take it to a whole new level in T2. I loved the ending of that movie.
I saw this one, man, 10 years before I saw the first one.
A full decade?
Yeah.
How?
It was a while before I saw Terminator.
Really?
Yeah. So I had no idea. So when I go back and watch the first one, I'm like, oh, he's bad the whole time? Mm-hmm. So it makes that intro scene with the roses and the shotgun even more, I don't know.
Menacing.
Yeah.
Because you don't know.
Right,
he might be the bad guy.
Yeah.
But he wasn't.
Now, it's been a while since I've seen that, but so was John Connor just told by his mom, Sarah, of what that Terminator looked like? Like, why was he even afraid of that image to begin with? You know what I mean?
Because I'm pretty sure, that was the whole point. Like, she drilled all this into his head since birth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, good movie.
Hasta la vista, baby.
So sad, the thumb and the lava.
I know, it is sad.
Or whatever that was, the molten core.
Yeah, I hadn't gotten to this one yet. I thought I got through all the oldies.
Oh, no.
1954 is the Glenn Miller story.
Okay. Everyone has to have their crybaby. It's all right.
I guess this would be my crybaby. Once again, another appearance by a film movie star. I'm so shocked. These movies I've never heard of in my life. Jimmy Stewart is in this. He plays Glenn Miller.
You love him, huh?
I do love Jimmy Stewart, apparently.
Didn't know that.
Like one? I know 2? 3 Jimmy Stewart movies on my list.
I've never heard of this.
Yeah.
Huh.
The Glenn Miller story is about the trombone player, Glenn Miller?
Wow.
Yep. What's the ratings on it?
7.3 IMDb and 88 Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. It's a nice biopic. Or biopic. Whichever you prefer. About big band great Glenn Miller. What?
It's funny. I've never once heard of this in my life. I thought you were joking at first, like a title you made up.
No.
But you did?
No. I should have done that.
Wow. The Steve Miller story. I'd watch that.
But not the Glenn Miller story.
Right.
It's actually a very fascinating story. He was, spoiler alert, basically became a rock star at the time through the Glenn Miller Orchestra. Then, got, I don't know if he was drafted. Yeah, he must have been drafted into the Army. And then he was basically, he would lead the band and go around and play for troops. And his orchestra would play for troops. And then he took a plane during World War II, and then his plane vanished and was never found.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Huh. He was lost at sea.
Dang.
Sad story. Because you can imagine, as Jimmy Stewart, you're going to love him by the end. And so it's really sad. The end of the movie is really sad.
Huh.
What?
That was a shock.
That it was on the list?
Yeah, I mean, you've had 2 movies I've never heard of in my life. It's interesting.
What was the other one?
The Sting.
Oh, yeah. And that one won Best Picture.
Yeah.
1979's Rocky II.
Okay.
Which you had on yours.
I'm down for that.
And I tried to follow the same thing you did, like I could easily put Rocky on here.
Yeah,
probably.
without a doubt. Yeah.
And with the Avengers, I had Captain America Civil War and took it off. I could easily have Black Panther on here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm trying to, if I have one from a franchise, I'm trying to keep the one.
Same.
I could have had Terminator Salvation.
Really?
No.
I don't know this list. I don't know.
Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back.
Nice.
I think we've spoke a lot about this one over the years too.
Yeah.
What's your favorite moment of The Empire Strikes Back? It's that Yoda shit, isn't it?
No.
Dagobah. I could skip through the Dagobah every time though.
Yeah. I do love that. I mean, you're a Yoda hater, man.
I hate Yoda.
Jeez. 95% Rotten Tomatoes, 82 Metacritic, 8.8 IMDb. Man, it's cliche, but the whole Luke and Vader thing, that's an iconic cinema moment.
Yeah, the end.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big deal. And, of course, Han Solo frozen carbonite's always good.
He thought he was done with.
Yeah, finally. I had to wait 35 more years for his ultimate demise.
Because he comes right back in your favorite Star Wars movie.
That's, kind of.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, almost your favorite Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
You went with The Force
depends
Awakens.
which
You
week-
went with the one where he dies.
Depends which week you ask me, but yeah, currently The Force Awakens is my one.
Next, 1995's Tommy Boy.
Uh-huh.
We've talked about that 4 weeks in a row now.
Yeah, right.
And the last one, let me make sure I got them all. And again, these are in no order. 1986's Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Nice. Okay.
What an influential movie in my life.
Yeah.
Like, I saw that as a kid. I wanted to be Ferris Bueller.
Yeah.
And you started to say, who didn't?
Yeah.
What if I'd said, I wanted to be Rooney?
Oh, the actor or the character? Which one?
The character.
Okay.
The character.
Wow. Not good scores. Oh, wait.
Rooney.
That's funny. If you just Google Ferris Bueller, it takes you to the sitcom Ferris Bueller. And those scores were terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to his day off. I forgot the sitcom was just called Ferris Bueller.
Was it Jennifer Aniston in the sitcom? I think Jennifer Aniston played his sister in this sitcom.
Really?
Yeah, I'll look that up while you're looking up the...
This is funny. 7.8 IMDb, 79 Rotten Tomatoes, but Common Sense Media gives it the perfect 5 out of 5 stars.
Really?
Yeah. We have to read this now, right?
Yeah.
Is there any sex in Ferris Bueller?
No.
Oh, there is.
No, there's
We have a
not.
2 out of 5 rating for sex in Ferris Bueller. Kissing, making out, references to seeing a girl change before she goes in the water. Voluptuous woman dressed as a nurse delivers most of a racy candygram. It's implied that she is a prostitute.
How's that implied?
Hey, just like the Ghost BJ, things can be implied. Violence is a 1 out of 5 star.
There's no violence in it.
There's some scuffles. An adult is attacked by both a teenage girl and a dog. And then a car falls over a ledge and is smashed. It's pretty damn violent.
It's not really that violent.
Is there consumerism there? Oh, yeah, well. So, they'll find anything to bitch about in this website. Ferrari automobiles are everywhere, and the city of Chicago couldn't ask for better promotions.
What?
That's what it says, yeah. Yeah. There you go.
My favorite moment in that... Well, no, it's not my favorite moment. But a favorite moment
I'm
in
going
that
to get your average year, by the way.
is... Oh, did you write them all down?
Yeah.
Is when Rooney goes into the bar and the guy's watching the baseball game, and he's like, what's the score? 0-0. Who's winning? The Mets. I looked this up. The Ferris Bueller TV show, which was based on the 1986 film. This came out in 1990. Jennifer Aniston.
Really?
Yeah.
And what year was that?
That would have been 1990.
Wow, that's pre-Leprechaun.
It is pre-Leprechaun. It is. Directed by Bill Bixby.
Really? What?
Yeah.
No.
Bill Bixby was a director.
The show was?
Yeah, on the show. Yeah, because there's a lot of directors. Because you probably have a different director for each episode. But yeah, Bill Bixby's listed as the first director.
Wow. I almost have your average here. 1 second. We're making it for you. What do you think it's going to be? What do you guess?
I would
Your
guess
average
my
would be?
average, looking at this, is it's going to be around 1983. This is interesting
Yeah, you like that?
and riveting. This is riveting radio.
We are there in like 30 seconds.
But yeah, that would be my guess. Would be around 1980. You're real good with the math.
Oh, yeah? You like that?
Mm-hmm. I do like that. Yes, Adam, I do like that.
Well, it was. Something happened somewhere.
What did you come up with?
Not a right answer.
2014.
Way in the future.
2025. That's so way in the future. Oh, it's 6 years from now.
That is futuristic, isn't it?
Yeah. Think about 2029. That's only 10 years from now.
That's crazy.
I know. 2045 will be 30 years removed from the future and Back to the Future.
That's insane.
Most likely, you and I will both see 2045.
Time for the remake at that point, right?
60 years from the original
it's gonna-
release.
it's gonna happen.
Oh, my goodness.
It's going to happen.
Do you guys remember that 60-year-old movie, Back to the Future? It's one of the greatest. It's on my list of 25.
It's going to happen. Who's going to be Marty McFly in that remake? Is the real question.
Someone not born for a couple of decades yet.
Oh, man.
I was going to ask you, and
Yeah.
I don't want to disturb you while you're doing math, But I really thought it would be fun if and we can do it before the next Avengers movie comes out, we recast the Avengers.
I messed it up again. I'll do it later when I'm not talking.
Okay. Like, who would we cast as the Avengers if we were to recast the film? We don't have to do it now.
Yeah.
That's something I want to do before Endgame comes out. Because you know who I would think would be like a really good Spider-Man?
Who's that?
Michael J. Fox. If you could cast from any time.
Anytime. Okay, I got you.
Anytime. Yeah. In film history. So
I like that idea.
You know I'm going to find a spot for Jimmy Stewart.
Oh, God. He can't be an Avenger?
All right, so I'm going to go through this list.
Yeah.
In no order. I'm not saying this. Though I do have it as number one, but I don't think it would be number one. For real. Casablanca from 1942.
Yeah.
The Sting from 1973. Batman from 1989. Back to the Future from 1985. Rear Window from 1954. It's a Wonderful Life from 1946. Pulp Fiction from 1994. Big Lebowski 1998. Blues Brothers 1980. Superman 1978. Psycho 1960. The Dark Knight 2008. I don't have many 2000s movies on here. The Village from 2004. Ghostbusters from 84. Vertigo from 1958. Shaun of the Dead from 2004. Avengers Infinity War from 2018. Did we go over Vertigo?
No. That may be why my numbers are messed up. I just counted 24 on here.
Yeah.
Okay. So Vertigo?
Vertigo's on my list. Once again, Alfred Hitchcock
right.
and Jimmy Stewart.
What year would that be?
That's 1958.
Okay, yeah, that's why my numbers were messed up, because it was only 24. I was divided by 25.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise. 1958?
1958, yeah.
That just reminded me, I didn't put Teen Wolf on my list when I said Jeez Louise.
Yeah, you didn't.
See? We'll do it again next month, huh?
Yeah. I was expecting Teen Wolf to be on your list.
It's one of those I forgot about.
Well, we got a couple of minutes here. We can do honorable mentions that we might have forgot. Yeah, Vertigo from 1958. I can't believe I forgot Vertigo.
Yeah. Well, let me do the actual number. Now I'm curious of your actual average.
Okay.
Average date.
I'll slow down for the rest of these. Shaun of the Dead from 2004. Avengers Infinity War from 2018. Terminator 2 Judgment Day from 1991. Is me saying the years throwing you off?
No.
Oh Brother, Where Art Thou from 2000. The Glenn Miller Story from 1954.
Sorry.
I can't.
There's something in my mouth. I'm sorry.
Can't. Did I razz any of yours?
No.
You had Romeo and Juliet on your list.
The story is hundreds of years old and classic.
Uh-huh. You went with the Claire Danes and Leonardo DiCaprio version. Raiders of the Lost Ark from 1980. Rocky II from 79. Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back from 1980. Tommy Boy from 1995. And Ferris Bueller's Day Off from 1986. At this point in my life, I would say this is a concise list of my 25 favorite films of all time. Not the best,
right? That's not
but definitely favorite.
That's how.
Because if I was going to do the best, then films like The Godfather and Taxi Driver and what's another? National Treasure.
I have your year.
Okay.
Officially, after we have 25 on this.
I guess it'd be around 80-81.
1981.64. So if we're rounding up, it's an 82, but 1981 specifically.
Yeah, that's fair.
Very nice.
I mean, my earliest movie is from 1946.
Yeah.
Or 42.
Uh-huh.
So that's really going to bring the
Yeah, my
average.
one, 1931, drew mine down, but yeah.
Yeah. No, that was fun.
Yeah, so that would be like so we have 1981.6. You're looking at about September-ish of 81.
Mm-hmm.
That's your prime time movie watching right there. What comes out?
Let's quickly look and see what movies.
You do
were in
yours. I'll look at
1981.
my September of 1995.
I bet I could tell you 95.
September 95?
Well, I don't know about September of 95. Yeah. Okay. Here's some movies that almost made it.
Yeah.
Con Air.
Oh wow.
Silence of the Lambs. Didn't make it. Almost made it.
Yeah. Yeah, you had no. Well, if you count Psycho, but no actual horror on there.
Dream Warriors almost made it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Dream
Yeah.
Warriors. Like I had it down and then scratched it out. So it was like, I like Pulp Fiction better.
Yeah.
Okay, so do yours.
Of the ones that I cut off.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and also oh my goodness, I'm looking at some of these movies from '81. I may have to rethink this.
So the ones I cut off, I had Little Shop of Horrors on there. I'm a big fan of that. I took off Rambo, like pretty much Rambo Part 4. I love that version of Rambo. What else did I have on there? I had Her was on there with Joaquin Phoenix, the Spike Jonze movie. I should have put Teen Wolf on there, but I forgot until right now. What else? There were 8 I took off. I should have kept those written down, but I've deleted them from the list. Delete. Delete's what I did. So that's about it, really.
No Nick Cage movies.
No.
I almost had Raising Arizona on mine.
What? No. Is that a joke?
No Wicker Man.
No.
No Lord of War.
Do you have your movies up from 1981, September of 81?
Well, I don't have September of 81. I have 1981.
I got you.
Do you have September?
Yeah.
Or whatever yours was?
Yeah. I'm seeing here Toy Story, 7, Braveheart, GoldenEye, Apollo 13, and Jumanji were in the theaters at the time.
Oh, wow.
Not a bad run, huh?
Apollo 13 is really good.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Maybe I should search September 1981's films. But I'm looking at some of these, like Friday the 13th Part 2, Halloween 2, Stripes, An American Werewolf in London, On Golden Pond, Chariots of Fire, History of the World Part 2. There's some great movies that came out in 1981. September 1981 films. Let's see what comes up here. Movie Web. They're reliable, right? Oh, wow. Das Boot.
Oh, wow.
Came out in September of 81.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mommy Dearest.
Ah.
Let's see. Don't Go in the Woods. 4 young campers, Craig, Peter, Ingrid, and Joni, backpack through the mountains for a relaxing weekend in the wilderness. They're out camping in broad daylight while someone else is killing tourists in the woods. Craig warns the others not to go in the woods alone. The hillsides are crawling with fat women huffing up hillsides, nerdy bird watchers, and young couples. Oh, I see what you're saying. Most of whom meet gruesome ends at the hands of a deranged and grueling backwoodsman with a sharp spike. Don't go in the woods.
Wow.
Don't go near the park. Wow. There's not a lot of...
Not so good?
Well, I've got second page here. Maybe something good. I think I hit the high points at the beginning there with Mommy Dearest.
Yeah.
And Das Boot.
Put that on there. Put some Das Boot.
Yeah. The Hot Touch. A master art forger and his partner in crime, an art expert who can vouch for the authenticity of the forgeries, are making a bundle. An art dealer figures out their scheme, but agrees to keep quiet if they forge some lost art of World War II.
Ooh. Okay.
No cast listing. Well, there you have it. Our favorite films.
It's been a good run.
It has been a good run.
Good run.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
I said, I'd like to. I have no timeline in mind, but I think the next time we have a person in studio here, we should tell them beforehand quickly. Give us your top 25 favorite movies of all time. We'll just list them off. You don't have to go through the ratings of the years, but just tell us that list. I think it's a fun personality test.
yeah. So, what does my personality say?
Like the classics.
I'm classic.
Now, did you watch that? Because the majority of mine were movies, I'd say 75% were movies I loved as a younger person. So when you were growing up, did you watch a lot of old black and white movies? Is that what happened?
Yeah, I saw a lot.
Yeah.
Yep. Maltese Falcon.
Yeah.
I remember seeing as a kid. Casablanca, I remember seeing as a kid. The Sting, I didn't see until high school, but that's not black and white. It's in color. It's a Wonderful Life, I remember seeing as a kid. This almost made my list. I'm surprised it didn't make either one of our lists. But Night of the Living Dead, I remember seeing as a kid. Yeah, I watched a lot of black and white films. Watched a lot of Three Stooges.
Yeah.
A lot of those black and white serials, like the old Batman serials and Superman serials. And maybe that's where my sense of adventure comes from, of like really liking adventure stuff.
Batman cereal was good from 89. I actually love that. I did. I know you're talking about the S cereal, but the C cereal was good too.
I was looking at 1981. Cannonball Run came out in 1981.
Wow. Man, it was a rough year. You said it was a good year. I don't know if it was a good year. I don't know.
Well, if you don't want to tell us all 25,
Yeah.
at least tell us maybe your 10 favorite films of all time.
Right? Yeah.
Make
We
it a
had
little
some
easier on
on
yourself.
my personal Twitter today. I kind of asked that to get an idea, and there were got some responses.
Here's some of them that I marked out. Well, I meant Inception was almost on my list.
Same here, yeah.
Disney's Up was almost on my list.
Inception/Interstellar almost got mine. I'm a big fan of both of those.
Those are really good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a big Chris Nolan movie coming out. Well, he's
Really?
working on it now. It's supposed to be like another big, event movie.
Good. I never saw Dunkirk. It didn't tickle the fancy. I wasn't intrigued to see it, but
Yeah.
I'm sure it's all right.
Yeah, Disney's Up almost made my list. I had no animated films on here. I mean,
Same.
I had them on, and then when other stuff would come up, I took them off.
Same.
Dead Poets Society. 12 Angry Men.
To Kill a Mockingbird not make it this time?
No. But yeah, you can let us know on Twitter at AdamandJP.
Yeah.
Is that right? At AdamandJP. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, or Facebook.com/AdamandJP as well. They're always fun.
I'm Jay Patrick. That's Adam.
You've been eating your top 25 podcast rolls.
Your time is up, my time is now. You can't see me, my time is now. It's the franchise where I'm shining now. You can't see me, my time is now. In case you forgot or fell off, I'm still hot, knock your shell off. My money stacked fat, plus I can't turn the swell off. The franchise doing big business, I live this, it's automatic. I win this, so you hear those horns, you finished. A soldier, and I stay under you fighting. Plus I'm storming on you chumps like I'm thunder and lightning. Ain't no way you breaking me, kid, I'm harder than nails. Plus I keep it on lock like I'm part of the jail. I'm slaughtering stale competition. I got the whole block wishing they could run with my division, but they gone fishing with no bait. Kid, your boy, hold weight. I got my soul straight. I brush your mouth like Colgate. In any weather, I'm never better. Your boy's so hot, you never catch me in the next man's sweater. If they hate, let them hate. I drop your whole clan. Lay your ass down for the 3-second tan. Your time is up, my time is now. You can't see me, my time is now. It's the franchise where I'm shining now. You can't see me, my time is now.
It's gon' be what it's gon' be. 5 pounds of courage, bloody base, 10 pants with a gold tee. It's a war dance, a victory step. A raw stance is a gift, and you insist it's my rep. John Cena trademark, y'all are so-so. And talk about the bread you make, but don't know the recipe for dough. Aiming guns in all your photos, that's a no-no. When this pop, your lip lock, your big talks are blatant no-so. See what happens when the ice age melt. It seems monetary status is not what matters, but it helps. I'm rocking Timepiece by Benny, if any. The same reason y'all could love me is the same reason y'all condemn me. A man's measured by the way that he thinks, not clothing lines, ice links, leather and minks. I spent 20 plus years seeking knowledge of self. So for now, Mark Fredka's living life for wealth.